authorized by the church to preside over the assembly of God by preaching the gospel and administering the sacraments. And the people were not even aware of this change. The communion service and the ordination rite had now been disassociated from the idea of a sacrificing priesthood. There still remained in every church, however, the silent reminder, the consecrated stone called the altar. Therefore, the bishops ordered these to be taken down and all altars destroyed. Every parish was now to provide a table of wood. They came to be known as Cranmer's tables. The official explanation for these changes was, quote, "The form of a table shall move the simple-minded from the superstitious opinion of the Popist Mass into the right use of the Lord's Supper. For the use of an altar is to make sacrifice upon it. The use of a table is to serve for men to eat upon." Unquote. Those brave bishops who resisted these changes were deprived of their sees. So of the 23 bishops in the country, no more than 4 could be counted on to champion the sacramental theology of the church, and these 4 were imprisoned. In 1552, the king, as the head of the church, imposed the acts for the uniformity of common prayer and administration of the sacraments. This act decreed heavy penalties, not only for those who publicly criticized the new services, but for the clergy who used any other form of worship. In the meantime, Cranmer and his associates ordered all statues to be taken out of the churches and stained glass windows demolished. They removed all the sacred vessels made of precious metals. And your guess is as good as mine where they went. They preached against the idea of Lent, the long penitential exercise in preparation for the feast of Easter. They ridiculed the Catholic belief that the souls of deceased Christians can be aided through the sacrifice of the Mass. This account of how a once completely Catholic country became Protestant in the matter of a few years should be a warning to all of us. It can happen here and now. In fact, it has already happened. What should you do? Definitely you should stay away from these perverted services and quit contributing to the parishes that hold them, because you are helping to betray Christ by supporting them in their apostasy. I have recounted briefly how the faith was undermined and destroyed in Germany and England through the gradual desecration and destruction of the Mass. To examine and condemn the errors of Luther and the other reformers, Pope Paul III convoked the Council of Trent in that same century. This council decreed that the papacy should produce and publish a missal so that priests would know what prayers to use, what ritual, and what ceremonies they were to retain in the celebration of the Mass for all time to come. This was done to safeguard all future generations of Catholics from the tragedy that befell the Catholics in Germany and England. This work was completed in the reign of Pope St. Pius V, and the Roman Missal was made the official missal of the Church. The Pope issued his bull, the Quo Primum decree, on the Missal, and this decree appeared in Latin in the front of every altar missal from that time up until the recent replacement. I quote now from some pertinent passages of the decree Quo Primum. Whereas, by this present Constitution, which will be valid henceforth, now and forever, We order and enjoin that nothing must be added to our recently published missal, nothing omitted from it, nor anything whatsoever be changed within it under the penalty of our displeasure. We specifically command each and every patriarch, administrator, and all other persons of whatever ecclesiastical dignity they may be they even cardinals of the Holy Roman Church, or possessed of any other rank or preeminence, and we order them in virtue of holy obedience to chant or to read the Mass according to the rite and manner and norm herewith laid down by us, and hereafter to discontinue and completely discard all other rubrics and rites of other missals, however ancient, which they have customarily followed. And they must not, in celebrating Mass, presume to introduce any ceremonies or recite any prayers other than those contained in this missal. Furthermore, by these presents, in virtue of our apostolic authority, we grant and concede in perpetuity, that means for all time, that for the chanting or reading of the Mass in any church whatsoever, this missal is hereafter to be followed absolutely, without any scruple of conscience or fear of incurring any penalty, judgment, or censure, and may freely and lawfully be used. Nor are superiors, administrators, canons, chaplains, and other secular priests, or religious, of whatever order, or by whatever title designated, obliged to celebrate the Mass otherwise than as enjoined by us. We likewise declare and ordain that no one whosoever is to be forced or coerced to alter this missal, and that this present document cannot be revoked or modified, but remains always valid and retain its full force. Unquote. Pertinent passages from the Decree Quo Primum by Pope St. Pius V. As you can see, the Pope, by virtue of his apostolic authority, decreed that this Roman Missal should be used forevermore in the Church without any change or alteration, and that no priest should ever be required to offer Holy Mass in any other way.